Essex County activity further. To date, they have received grant funding. I don't have the exact amount. They've hired a project manager, I believe on a part-time basis. They hope to start with 5 to 6 communities and then expand over a period of time throughout Essex County. They plan to go live in 12 to 18 months and then expand further. They don't rule out communities outside of Essex County joining in on this, but they would prefer not to look at those communities at the present time until they have Essex County taken. Next slide, please.
Alan, before you go on, I had spoken to Senator Tarr a while ago regarding the same thing, and he had given me the name of Joe McGowan, who was part of that group.
I mentioned that in the previous one.
You ought to write that name down and see if we can contact him too.
I believe he was he had a hand
Name
in
was what? I'm
the
sorry?
E911 with cell phones. That was his,
Bob, what's that name?
Joe McGowan, M-C-G-O-W-A-N.
G-O-W-A-N?
Yeah.
And do you know where he is, or?
He's up in that area, and he's involved with that group as far as I
Somewhere
know.
out there.
Maybe we can get, Senator Tarr was gonna get me a phone number, and he never got
I
back
haven't
to
heard
me.
that name, and again, the only names that I've been aware of are the two that I mentioned.
I believe he's in Gloucester, Cape Ann, Rockport area.
Mhm.
I think that's where.
Maybe
he
it's a different group.
is. Is it Newburyport?
I'll look into that. I'll look into that. Again, back to the Essex County activity, what Ron Giovanacci had told me was that all the fire chiefs within the area are very, support this effort and are very positive. That in general, the police chiefs support as well, but there's been a bit more resistance from them. The center would be dispatch center would be staffed with professional dispatch personnel. As I said before, they're not really looking at the present time for people outside of Essex County. His recommendation was that somebody in North Reading should get more involved, not just in Essex County. I believe that Chief Harris has been following what's been going on in Essex. He feels that somebody should, that one or more personnel from North Reading should get more involved, and hopefully maybe we'll start to light the fire under a Middlesex effort that's similar to this. Next slide, please. Now, there's a caveat that goes with this. People often stand up here and say, I'm speaking for myself, not the committee. In this case, I have to say I'm speaking for the committee, not for myself. These recommendations were voted on and passed by the FAC by an 8-to-1 vote. I was not in favor of all of these ideas, and therefore I did not vote for them, but I will present them. The recommendations were on the short term, that the town move the fire department dispatch to the police department, that the police would handle all dispatch. This would free up one firefighter. In the intermediate term,
Can I just ask a question? Does it really free up a firefighter, and I guess more directed to the chief? Are we going to leave the fire department, leave the fire station unmanned at any particular time? I mean, and maybe I can even jump a little further and ask Joe, how it works in Reading. I know they have civilian dispatchers down there. Does it really free up, in our particular case, does it free up anybody because of our staffing patterns?
I'll speak from my knowledge, because the chief is here to answer as well. But much as I don't necessarily agree with this, if you say we're no longer dispatching the fire department from the fire department, there's one person that is their primary duty on each shift. It would seem as though it would free that person up. You got to speak to that, Chief?
If you go and, I got to kind of look at this whole thing as twofold. You have two people doing the job now, police officer and firefighter. If you decide to go to the police station, you will free up the firefighter. But now you've got one person doing both jobs. 9 times out of 10, his department is a little bit taxed with what they're doing. The town of Reading uses, I believe, 2, lots of times 3. Wilmington does the same thing. The problem is that you're moving one job to another spot. And the problem is that one guy, or one person that's doing that job is gonna now be doing the job of two people. And somebody's gonna suffer. Either the fire department or the police department. A call for help from either the fire department that needs help may not get answered because he's doing the job for the police department.
Yeah, what,
Am I correct?
yes, and that just as a general answer. What they do in Reading is they have all civilian dispatches. And they dispatch out of the police department. And on your day shift and on your 4 to 12 shift, they have 2. On your midnight to 8, they have 1. And then if something comes in, something very serious or whatever, at 1 in the morning, fortunately, they have enough police officers on duty down there. They can call one in and, to help on the desk. Or the sergeant or whoever's in charge will go in and help them out.
Don't they also have a police officer on duty in the building?
They have a sergeant or a lieutenant in charge of the shift, but he's not dispatching, no.
But I mean, he's available to
He's
them
in charge
in the
of the shift.
station.
Oh, yeah.
So you've actually got 3 people in the building,
Oh, yeah.
9
Oh,
times out of 10.
well, you have to keep a police officer in the building.
And if you take and you move my position to the police station, now you've taken my position up, freed me up, and that's great. You've taken the 2 positions, given to 1, and if they have somebody in the cell block downstairs, I have no
Well, I don't
idea
think
how
you can
they're
give them
gonna
to
deal
one.
with that.
I'm not agreeing to that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, I mean,
Yeah.
until we ramp up our staffing,
It doesn't,
it doesn't
it's not gonna work.
appear to
Appear to work.
cover
Right.
us adequately. Whereby, I mean, are we ever going, again, I get one of my original questions, are we ever going to leave the fire station unmanned? The answer could be yes.
Could be yes, provided we have enough personnel or whatever. In large departments, they close the fire station and drive away in the fire truck. They leave the place locked up. Down at Reading, you go down there now, and if they're on the call, the building's locked up. There's a phone in front of the building, you call, and you talk to dispatch, which is at the police station, but the building is locked up. The whole thing's locked up, every fire station is locked up. Down the road, maybe, at this point, I don't see it happening.
John?
How many calls are there to fire in a given year on average, and how many calls are there to police? And compare that to how many calls Reading receives for both fire and police. And wasn't the police station built to have a joint dispatch?
That was a directive of the Board of Selectmen. However, somewhere along the line in the design, that wasn't carried through. It's not to say that with some sort of renovation to the existing dispatch area, that couldn't be incorporated. For example, there's an officer in charge or a supervisory office right in back of dispatch, and that would have to go through design phase and remodeling, but it could be redesigned to incorporate additional positions at dispatch. And to answer your question about calls to service, our call volume is increasing so much that probably 40% of the time, we now have 2 police officers in the police facility just to handle police calls. We answer about 17,000 calls per year, and dispatch probably 15,000 of those particular calls. The calls on 30-second calls, they can range from holding people on the phone waiting for fire service or police department to actually get on scene before they disconnect a particular call. So they're not your typical business call where there's a time placed on a customer service rep, for example, to handle a call with the next number of minutes. Some of these things go on for considerable periods of time. On occasion, we've had to call the fire department over to back us up at dispatch, as our officers had to respond to critical incidents. And it's actually easier for a firefighter to come over and handle our phone calls than it is for a police officer to handle a fire service call. It's a much more complicated dispatch to handle an alarm coming in, to understand what their medical protocols are, and so on. I'm not against civilian dispatchers. I don't think the fire chief is. I can't speak for the unions that are represented within our respective agencies. However, what the board and the community has to understand the staffing levels of the fire department, I doubt it's gonna free up a firefighter. We can't have a police officer, the building has to be maintained throughout the day because of the sensitivity of records, the things that are kept in storage in that facility, from evidence to munitions to people being incarcerated in our cell blocks on a temporary basis. So there's always a need for a police officer to be there. So what you're doing is you take the police officer away from dispatch, but he's still assigned to the building to handle walk-in questions regarding law enforcement, to handle the security of the facility, because dispatch and primary PSAPs have to be secure, and that's by law. Even if we had a standalone facility located in a building near the center of town, we would have to provide some level of security in that facility. So you're paying somebody a little bit less money to develop that expertise, and that the police officer that would be in the building would be assigned other administrative, which they already do, but they have staffing duties, administrative duties, which they devote more time to. So you can use the coverage you're paying them for in the facility, and the dispatch is paid at a somewhat reduced rate. But you gotta remember also, that I don't believe, there is any dispatch in any, community, at least in this part of the state, that the dispatchers haven't organized. So they are unionized, and they get the same, covered by the same benefits as police and fire. So if we do in the future decide to go that route, we have to go in with our eyes wide open and understand that it's gonna be an additional expense for capital improvement. Probably, if it went to a joint dispatch, the fire department's radios are outdated, so likely, they'd be looking for new equipment to be installed in a new facility. So I'd be willing to bet, from my experiences with the police building committee, that we're looking at about a $350,000 capital improvement equipment. And then, you can't staff, one civilian dispatcher isn't gonna help anybody. It's, the police department is the fire department. We're 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days per year. So I don't see the benefit of one full-time dispatcher aiding us at all. At the minimum, you need to have the coverage during the busy periods of time, which would be 12 to 16 hours per day. And I'd be, just my experience, having gone through this process with prior boards, I believe Reading has 10 dispatchers.
It's either 8 or 10, chief.
Yeah.
I was trying to add it up as I'm sitting here, but I know it's,
Yeah, so you're probably
it's
looking
either 8 or
at
10.
$50,000 salary expense plus fringe benefits on top of police and fire. So someday, it's a worthy thing that you free up that cost, and you free up that firefighter to do their jobs. However, speaking for the police, you will not, the building can't be abandoned, so there'll always be a cop in that particular facility.
Chief? Chair, may I?
Yeah.
But at times, you now have 2 police officers
Yes.
handling dispatch.
That's correct.
So in those instances, it would free up a police officer that you could put out on the street.
Absolutely, but one full-time dispatcher is not gonna help it, in that you probably need at least 4 or 5 to be able to, yeah.
Understood. But at the same time, you're freeing up a firefighter. So what we had talked about earlier about needing 8 firefighters, now you picked up 4, so now we're down to only needing 4.
Well, the other thing my dispatch system